Most veterans don't lose the VA battle because they're weak. They lose because they have been misled. They're told 70% is good enough. They're told the system is too complicated, too slow, too rigged to fight. So they quit. They stop filing, they stop appealing, they settle for scraps when they've earned an inheritance. Let me tell you something. 70% is survival. It is not victory. You weren't created to just survive and go through life with the bare minimum. You were created to thrive. This is what God intended for you. Especially, in my opinion, and we guys know our favorite veterans on this channel, especially if you are a veteran. You didn't serve your country just to get half of what you've earned. You were designed to inherit the full rewards. And I need you guys to believe that. I know this because I have lived it. I was not born into comfort. I was born in a war-torn country called Liberia and was a refugee for the first couple years of my life until moving to the States. When I moved to the States, I joined the Army at 19 and became a paratrooper, jumping out of planes, going to war, putting my body and my mind on the line for the United States of America. And when I came home, the system told me, be happy with what you got. They gave me denial, they gave me a low ratings, and they gave me excuses. I was stuck, frustrated, tired of the game. For years, I lived in the same trap. So I totally understand where you guys are right now. That's why I'm creating this video. But here's what changed. I soon realized the VA system wasn't about luck or favoritism. It's a game. And like every single game, there's rules to it. Once I stopped guessing and started treating it like a mission, everything shifted. I built my battle pack. I documented every system. I got the Nexus letter. I showed how my condition destroyed my ability to work and live a normal life. 6 months later, I went from being stuck, denial, to 100% PNT. And listen, that rating didn't just change my bank account, it changed my future. It unlocked state benefits. It gave me the ability to relocate, to design a new life wherever I wanted for me and my family. And it gave me purpose to now go on this journey and now go on this endeavor to build systems that are designed to help veterans like you. Earl Nightingale, one of my favorite speakers and author, once said, "We become what we think about." What does that mean? It means if you think you are a victim of the VA, you'll stay stuck. You'll think 70% is the ceiling, or you won't even file at all. You'll stop climbing. And if you think delays is normal, you'll waste years and years of your life and thousands of dollars in benefits that belongs to you. And here's my second favorite speaker, Dr. Miles Monroe, said something even more powerful. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life lived without purpose. Your purpose on this planet comes from God and is not to struggle endlessly with paperwork and denials. Your purpose is not to accept half a rating while your family struggles. Your purpose is not to let denials define your destiny. That's why I created this masterclass, not to inspire you for a moment, but to give you the blueprint that I've used, that I've helped other veterans like yourself use to get that 100% PNT and be on your way to creating freedom for you and your family. So here's my promise to you. If you stick with me through this training, you'll see the whole battlefield. You'll learn the victory equation that took me from denial to 100% PNT. You'll run diagnosis on your own claims and know exactly where you stand. And before you even finish phase 1, you will execute your first micro win, filing your intent to file, which could mean tens of thousands of dollars in back pay. But let me be brutally honest with you. If you can't even finish this one video, this one masterclass that arms you with everything you need to win the VA game, then the truth is, the VA is going to cook you alive. The veterans that win, my friends, are not different. The ones that get that 100% PNT are not special. They're not smarter than you. They're not even luckier than you, but they are focused. They cut out distractions, they execute, and they stay in the fight long enough to figure out what they need to do and to get the mission done. I hope you too can focus and cut out all the distraction, because this masterclass contains all the knowledge that I've gathered from my experience and my expertise, condensed into a video created for one single reason: help you win the VA system, beat the VA game, and get everything you deserve. This single training has the power to change your life forever and create generational wealth in you and your family. So it will behoove you and your future generation to lock in, pay attention, and let's continue with the video. So let's begin. Now that you understand the promise and the stakes here, it's time to set the battlefields, because you can't win a war if you don't even know the terrain. Most veterans loses because they're wandering around blind. No map, no mission, no strategies. But today, I'm giving you the map. This is the exact path that you need to walk to go from denial or not even filing your claim to getting that 100% PNT and free. Follow this map and you'll never wonder again, what do I do next? Here's the battlefield, here's the terrain. I'm gonna lay it out step by step. Number one is your intent to file. The first marker on the battlefield, this locks in your effective date and you get compensated back to that effective date, regardless of how long it takes you to file your claims and to complete the process. Number two, your battle pack, the evidence arsenal. This is your supply line, your ammo, your weapons. Without it, you cannot fight. Number three, claims filing. This is when you engage the enemy, the official launch of your mission. This is when you submit your claims. Number four, your CMP exam, the interrogations. This is where most veterans either win or lose the fight. We'll be covering that more in depth. Number five, decisions. The VA response, they'll either award or underrate or deny you. Number six, Dead-Man Plateau. This is the 70 to 90% trap. A lot of veterans are stuck here. This is where they camp out, they never move forward because they're too afraid that they might get a lower rating if they file that supplementary claim or that appeal. We're gonna teach you guys how to get out of that in this masterclass. Number seven, 100% PNT victory. The breakthrough moment, the inheritance you've earned, this is when it's all worthwhile and you get to see that in the decision with that 100% PNT. You unlock a whole bunch of benefits. We'll cover that as well too. Number eight, state arsenals. The hidden benefits most veterans never claim, such as property tax exemption, tuition, thousands and thousands of more. Number nine, escape velocity, freedom runway, building the launch pad to relocate, stretch your dollars, and finally live free. Number 10, the mission continuum, legacy command, stepping beyond your own needs, leading others, and building a legacy. This is the full map of what we're gonna be covering in this masterclass. All the stages that you'll need, one campaign, one outcome, one victory for you and your family. When I entered the VA system, I had no map. I was operating blind and the system ate me up. Rightfully so. You have to understand the VA is a government process. It's filled with bureaucracy and is designed specifically to gatekeep those benefits from people who want to misuse it. So you, as a veteran who has earned all these benefits, you need to come at it with an approach that's strategic, organized, and get straight to the point. Once I mapped out that process, like a mission, intent to file, my battle pack, my CMPA prep, appeal, etc., everything became more concise and I was able to move directly to my end goal and complete the mission without frustration, being overwhelmed. I got that 100% PNT which led me to where I am now, making these videos for you guys so that you too can get that. The differences wasn't luck, it was in favoritism, it was a map, a clear directions, knowing exactly where you want to go. First, we need to do a diagnosis of where you are, right? Look at the battlefield map that we've annotated. Where are you on this map? Have you filed your claim yet? So if you have filed a claim, that means you need to do a supplementary claim or an appeal or a higher review. If that's where you are, that's where you need to go. So if you haven't filed anything yet, you're at square one and your first plan of action is intend to file. So if you have gathered evidence but not completed, you're stuck in the battle pack. And if you have already filed and you're waiting for an exam or addition, that's where you're camped. If you got a rating, but it's 70 to 90%, that means you're stuck in the Dead-Man Plateau. Knowing where you are helps a lot because you can then come up with a strategic plan on how you can advance forward. This is your first diagnosis to mark your position, write it down, circle it, own it, because the first step to advancing is knowing exactly where you stand. Now, let me give you the clear formula that decides whether you win or you lose. It's not opinion, it's not guesswork, it's a proven equation. This is called the victory equation. Results equals evidence quality times symptoms clarity times nexus strength times functional impact. This is divided by delays and inconsistency. So what does all of this mean? Your numerator is your evidence, the clarity of your evidence, the nexus letter conveying what happened to you. The impact on your functionality is your firepower. The denominator is the delay and the inconsistency, which is your enemy. So what is evidence quality? Evidence quality is weapon grade DBQs, your disability benefits questionnaires, specialist notes, current medical records. If it's not written, it doesn't exist in the eyes of the VA. Next is your symptoms clarity. That's frequency, duration, severity, not folk stories, straight data. Next is your nexus letter strength. Your nexus letter is a statement written by a medical personnel stating the conditions that you have claiming. It has to be said specifically with magical phases that creates that service connectivity between your conditions and your service to the United States government. At least as likely as not. That's a key phrase. It has to come from a medical personnel. This is your supply line, right? And it carries so much weight when you're filing your claim, whether in the beginning or in the middle, depending on where you are on the map, it helps so much. Next is your functional impact. This is ammunition, how your conditions affect your day-to-day living, your work, your family relationships. Every single day when you wake up, if you claim elbow pain, how does this elbow pain affect your day-to-day living? Now, the enemy is delay. Every month you wait for a single veteran, that's about $30,737 every single month you could be getting as a single veteran. That's almost $44,000 a year with you doing absolutely nothing, just waking up and you're receiving that in your bank account. Delay is your number one enemy. Do not hesitate. Use the information I'm providing to you. File that claim. Next is inconsistency. If your evidence does not correlate to the claims that you're filing, it means absolutely nothing to the VA, and they're going to deny you. That's like showing up to the battlefield with the wrong ammo for your M4. If you have 7.62 and you have an M4 in the battlefield, you're cooked. You can't use it. It doesn't make sense. This is why so many veterans loses this fight. Not because they're weak, but because their numerator is weak and their denominator is strong. So you have to flip the switch. Your numerator needs to be stronger than your denominator, and you are one step closer to getting that 100% PNT. When I first filed, my numerator was weak, my evidence was sloppy, my symptoms were vague, I had no nexus letters, my functional proof, boom, denied. But once I built a weapon grade evidence, tracked my symptoms with precision, secure nexus letter, document functional impact, while cutting delay and inconsistency, I flipped the equation and I got that 100% P and T. It wasn't luck, it was straight math and execution and believing that it was possible. Now, it's your turn to score yourself on each part of the numerator and denominator. Look at your evidence quality, your symptoms clarity, your nexus strength, your functional impact, and rate it from 0 to 10. And do the same for your delay and inconsistency as well. Are you multiplying or subtracting? Now, once this exercise is complete, I want you to write those scores down. That's your victory equation diagnosis. That's your war plan. So you know where you need to improve and where you stand so you can then build a strong case. Listen, vets, I thought my service would speak for itself, my DD-214 combat records, scars, deployments, but without the equation, the VA shrugged because they just didn't understand what I was saying. But once I applied the victory equation, upgraded my evidence, documented the symptoms, secure a strong nexus letter with the right verbiage, logged functional imparities, everything changed. And this is what I want for you guys to understand. That 100% PNT rating is not just only going to change your compensation check. It's going to open up so many doors and unlock so many benefits. For example, the CHIM VA, for me and my family, it gave me state tax exemptions. I built my freedom runway to Bali off of that. So with that being said, let's move on to phase 2. Welcome to phase 2, your battle pack evidence arsenal explained. Here's the truth. Claims are not won on hopes, they're won on concrete evidence. And your evidence is your battle pack. If you step into the fight with an empty rucksack, the VA will chew you up and spit you out. But if you step into it fully loaded with all the supplies that you need to make sure you can continue and accomplish your mission, the VA will understand, recognize your claim, and award you with the ratings that you're looking for. Think about every single mission that you ran while you were serving in the military. Whether you're on the battlefield or you're working support, whether that was clearing buildings or making sure all the soldiers' admin data was on point, that was your mission. Think about it, right? In order to accomplish that mission, you assessed it and you packed exactly what you needed to survive and accomplish it. If you're on the battlefield, you pack ammo, water, comms, maps, protective gears, PPEs, and PPIs. If you were in the office, you make sure the internet was on point. You make sure all the soldiers came in for that admin day, filled out all their documents, you cleared, whatever it was. I was never in the office, so I don't know too much about that side. But I do know when it comes to battlefield tactics and stuff like that, right? So, regardless of the fact, wherever you were, whatever mission or task that was handed down to you, you're prepared before going out to execute. The VA clean process is no different. Your ammo here is your evidence. And this is why so many veterans are stuck at 70%, 80%, 90%, 50% because they don't bring clear evidence to the VA. Their backpack is light. They submit vague notes, outdated records, or nothing at all. That's like showing up on the battlefield with one round of magazine and hoping it's quick enough and you don't run out. The VA doesn't care how you feel. They care about what is written, what is documented, and what you can prove, and what is undeniable. And that's what the battle pack gives you. So let's get into the 4 core weapons overview. There are 4 core weapons that every battle pack must include. And in this process of the VA claims, your number 1 is your service record, your identity paper, proof that you were in the uniform service and face the conditions that you claim. Number 2 is your medical evidence, the daily ammo, the treatment notes, imaging prescriptions that shows your conditions exist. Number 3 is your DBQs, your disability benefits questionnaires, the VA language. Fill them out and you're speaking directly to them. Number 4 is the Nexus letters, the bridge that ties your conditions to your service. Now, when you add supporting fire like your buddy statements and symptoms diaries, personal statements, your backpack becomes undeniable and your claims become strong. So how do you tie all of this down to make it make sense? Here's your first mission in phase 2. I want you to rate how strong your claim is from 0 to 10 based off of those 4 core weapons overviews. From 0 to 2, you got nothing but a DD-214. From 3 to 5, you got some medical records, but no DBQ or Nexus letters. From 6 to 8, you got records and a DBQ, and maybe even a Nexus letters, but things are still missing and inconsistent. From 9 to 10, you got a full arsenal. Properly fill out DBQs, Nexus letters with the right verbiage and the right language that speaks directly to the VA. Diaries and personal statements all align and are undeniable and convey the message of what happened to you. Write that number down, circle it, own it. If your backpack is light, you know what you need to do. And if your backpack is full, you're one step closer to getting that 100% PNT. The first weapon is your service record. These are your identity papers, your DD-214, deployment orders, line of duty report, STRs. All of these documents prove you are in uniforms, you were stationed where you claim to be stationed, and you endured and you did what you're telling the VA you did. Without these, you might as well just forget about your claims. When I first filed my claim, I thought my DD-214 alone was enough. I was wrong. The DD-214 proved I had served, but it didn't prove that the event that caused my conditions were legitimate. The missing line in duty report and the STRs left gaps that the VA could use against me. Once I ordered my complete C file and I filled in those gaps, my foundation was then solid. So ask yourself, do you have your complete service record? If not, request it today. Without it, you're fighting without your ID and you cannot be identified on the battlefield. Your second weapons is your medical evidence. This is your daily ammo, your treatment notes, imaging results, prescription, labs, therapy, civilian or VA. They all count and they all help to paint that concrete, vivid picture to the VA of what you're dealing with and what symptoms you have. Here's what I learned the hard way. The VA love gaps. If you don't seek treatment for months or years, they'll say your condition must not be serious. Early on, I had gaps. I didn't want to go to the VA. I thought my word was enough. That mistake cost me years. Once I committed and I consistently showed up and got the medical care, civilians, doctors, VA doctors, I was able to show my treatment for PTSD, my back pain, my knees, physical therapies. My case gained momentum. Every appointment, every prescription, every test became another round of ammo that I was using to arm myself in the game of the VA system. So what you need to do is ask yourself, are you consistent? Or do your records make it look like your conditions barely exist? And based off the answers, you know exactly what you need to do. Your third weapon in this fight here is your DBQ, Disability Benefit Questionnaires. Your Disability Benefits Questionnaires is a form that speaks the VA language. The DBQs ask the exact questions your raters are going to use to assign the percentage. If you hand them a filled out DBQ already by a qualified doctors, you're speaking their language and you already are proactive enough to do the work. So that's leaning in your favor because a lot of these guys are underpaid. They're just there to do the job. And if you are proactive and you actually go and do the job and submit it to them, you make their life easier. When I filed without a DBQs, the VA minimalized everything. My Vogue notes didn't translate into their rating. When I came back with a DBQ filled out properly, range of motion measures, symptoms frequency recorded, impact on my work and my day-to-day living describes properly based off their VA language. The VA had no choice. Example, a DBQ that shows forward flexion under 30 degrees equals automatic 40% rating for back conditions. That's no option. That's in their manual. So don't hope they figure it out. Hand it to them exactly what they need to be able to understand. And that's why the DBQs is so important. The fourth weapon you want to arm yourself with is your Nexus letters. This is so important, guys, and I cannot stress it how important this is, especially when written in the VA language. Your Nexus letter is the bridge between your condition and your service. It connects your condition to your service. Without it, your claims is invalid. You might as well forget about it, unless there are special circumstances where the VA cannot come to their own conclusion. And when the Nexus letter is written properly by a medical professional, it is one of the strongest weapons you have. It's like having a goddamn bazooka in a gunfight. You fire that thing one time and the whole fight is over. I hope you guys are loving my analogies, man. The magic phrase you're looking here for, it is at least as likely as not. That's the threshold. That one line means the evidence is balanced, and by law, the VA must grant. When I started, I had no Nexus letter. I thought the VA would connect the dots based off of my records, based off of my DD-214. They did not. Listen to me. They didn't. They're not going to. You have to connect the dot for yourself. All right? And that led to me getting denied until I understand. Once I secure a strong Nexus letter, PTSD to combat, migraines to PTSD, sleep apnea to medications, each letter built the bridge and moved me so much faster to that 100% PNT. It's not just about having all those ammunitions to your side, it's about stacking them to make sure to convey the right message. Here's how you stack it. Service records prove the event, put you in the environment, and lets the VA know that you did what you say you did, you were there, and you are who you say you are. Medical evidence prove the conditions, DBQs, quantities, severity, Nexus letters connects the dots. When these are stocked properly, the VA have no wiggle room. It's like you got them in a chokehold or a rear naked chokehold, and you start to put the squeeze on the VA, and they have no choice but to tap and give you that 100%. But here's the trap, contradictions. If your diary says daily migraines, but your medical notes says occasional headaches, the VA will deny you. If your DBQ says severe, but your records says mild, the VA will deny you. The VA is going to identify this as being inconsistent. You have to align everything. Your diary, your DBQs, your Nexus letters, your records, the contradiction has to disappear. The VA has nothing left but to give you what you want. So, how do you prevent the contradiction? Audit your battle pack. Go through all your records, make sure they're all aligned, make sure they're all painting and conveying the same picture and the same message. Or click the link below. When we launch the VA Cleans Made Easy app, it does all of that for you, and you can have that peace of mind knowing exactly when you file your claim, everything that has to be done and can be done in your favor has already been done by the AI. The link is in the description. Click the link and join up. So now that you know about all the 4 weapons that can arm you, there's another secret ammo that a lot of veterans don't know they have. This ammo is called your secondary claim. Most veterans stops at their primary, PTSD, back pain, hearing loss, but the real firepower comes from your secondaries. Your secondary claims are conditioned, caused, or aggravated by service-connected primaries. And if you use this effectively, you give the VA no chance but to give you that 100%. For example, PTSD is the primary, migraine is the secondary, GERD is the secondary, insomnia is the secondary, back pain to hip pain, depression, sleep apnea to hypertension and heart disease. All these secondary conditions can be connected to your primary conditions, which can then service connect all of them, stacking and moving you closer to that 100%. When I added all these secondary conditions, that chain pushed me over the edge to finally get in that 100%. Your mission is simple. Map all your secondary conditions. Every primary that you have, probably spawn one or two of those secondaries. Do not stop until it's obvious and you can build a chain that connects every single one of them. All right, so section 5 is buddy statements and symptoms diaries. So these are the supporting fire on the battlefield. They are the icings on the cake, the thunder after the lightning, whatever you want to call it. They help strengthen your main clean. And these are buddy statements and symptoms diaries. Your buddy statements from a spouse, friend, co-worker, battle buddies. For example, this can come from your spouse. I've seen him wake up at least 3 times a night from sleep apnea, back pain, whatever it may be. Your buddy statement is powerful when it comes to adding that extra push to help the VA understand your symptoms. You also have symptoms diary, your own daily log, frequency, duration, severity, combined with your personal statement. All of these are the supporting documents that you need to give you that push over the edge. At first, I actually ignored these. I thought I didn't need them, but that was a huge mistake. Once I tracked the migraine, panic attacks, back flare-ups, the pattern was undeniable. So here's your mission. Start your daily log tonight. Start tracking all your migraines, all your back flare-ups, all the panic attacks that you have, and start annotating this, because all of these are going to help paint that picture. Section 6, your micro ring. Now that you know all the ammo you're going to need in your battle pack, what do you do with those? What you should do is build your first evidence stack. So what this means is you're going to pick one conditions, then you're going to pull your service record for proof, add medical evidence, secure or plan a DBQ, identify if you need a Nexus letter or not. Most likely you are going to need a Nexus letter. It doesn't hurt to have a Nexus letter, whether or not you know you need it or not. Add it anyways. Add a buddy statement, personal statement, and your symptoms diary entry. And by the end of the day, you're going to have one full stack in progress. Don't worry about perfection. Worry about momentum, because momentum stack as well. Because one completed stack is better than a pile of just random papers that doesn't paint no picture. And guess what? Your stacks are going to win war. So with all of that, you have completed phase 2. You know the 4 core weapons that you're gonna need in this fight. You know how to stack them properly. You know how to eliminate contradictions, and you've mapped out all your secondaries that you can use to support those initial cleans. You've started your diary and you've built your first evidence stack. Putting all of these things together, you're one step closer to that goal. With all of that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with quotes from 2 of my favorite writers and author and speakers. Number 1, Earl Nightingale, he said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right." Number 2, Dr. Miles Monroe, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth because there lies all the dreams that never was pursued." Don't let your inheritance die with you. Don't let your family miss out on benefits because you walk into the battlefield without the right evidence, without the right ammo. Using this video, equip your battle pack with everything that we've discussed, and you have a strong clean. Phase 3 is the Dead-Man Plateau, the 70 to 90% trap. I'll show you why so many veterans get stuck and how to properly break out of it if you get into that situation. But honestly, if you follow everything we've discussed so far, you're not even gonna get into that. You're gonna file a very strong clean. You're gonna get that 100% PNT and be on your way with the next chapter of your life, which is my goal. Phase 3 Dead-Man Plateau, the 70 to 90% trap. The Dead-Man Plateau is the rating zone where most veterans sit at 70, 80, 90%. Some of you guys are at 60. I have buddies that have been in this dead zone for years. And every time I ask them, why don't you just go and claim? Why don't you just go and file a secondary claim? Why don't you do something? And there always is the same answer. Oh, I don't want to go, and then I get a lower rating. What that tells me is that they haven't done their research and they're not confident in their ability to figure it out. That's the least of your worries, is having a lower rating if you actually understand the VA system. The beautiful thing about the VA is because it's a bureaucracy system, because it's black and white, meaning when you understand it, you should be more and more confident in your ability to go and actually win that claim, because you know exactly what you need to do and you know that's going to guarantee that 100% for you. It's so simple, guys. So do not get stuck in that 60 to 90% range. You deserve 100%. I'm here to tell you that. You deserve 100%. Your family deserves 100%. If not for you, do it for your family. If you have kids, there are so many benefits you're sitting on that can help your kids go to college, make that experience easier for them, help them buy a house. So if not for you, do it for your children. Let's get into it. At first, it feels like victory. You're finally getting compensated. That monthly checks eases some of the stress, but over time, it becomes a trap. Complacency, because you start telling yourself, this is good enough. At least I'm getting something. That's better off than before when I wasn't getting anything at all. And this is the kind of thinking that holds so many people back. In one of my favorite books of all time, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he discussed what he described as drifting. What keeps a lot of people from achieving great deeds is the fact that they accept and they conform. They conform and they accept to the surrounding there because it's comfortable. If you haven't read that book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, highly recommend you go and write it. The truth here is that's not good enough. That shouldn't be good enough for you. You shouldn't just accept 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, because the ceiling is 100%. You are a veteran. We all know what that means. It means you push through until the mission is accomplished. And until you get that 100%, the mission is not going to accomplish. At 70%, you're leaving about $2,000 on the table. That's like $24,000 a year. Over a 10-year time span, that's almost $250,000 you could have earned from the VA that you truly deserve. What would that do for you and your family? And beyond the money, you're locked out of the full inheritance, state tax exemption, CHIMP VA, education benefits for you and your children, and the freedom to do what you want and have that financial backing. This is why it's called the Dead-Man Plateau, because you settle, you give up on your dreams, and guess what happened? You sacrifice that dream of having that 100%, and you just stay in the system. So a lot of you guys, this is what life looks like in the plateau. Your check comes in and it vanishes over bills within a week. You're choosing between gas and groceries. Your kids need more help, but you can't provide without stress. You have to go out there and leave the military and immediately run to a job just so you can make ends meet. That's not truly living, guys. You deserve more than that. As a veteran who has served this great country, you deserve more than that. The worst part, you start doubting yourself. Maybe I don't deserve more. Maybe that's all I should get. Maybe the fact that I'm even getting paid is worthy enough because I have buddies that didn't even make it back from deployment, or I have friends that haven't even filed their claims, or I have buddies that filed a claim and got less than me. The mental prison is just as deadly as the financial one when you're stuck in the Dead-Man Plateau. And every month you watch the money slip away and the hole gets bigger and bigger. And deep down inside, deep down inside, you're always wondering what it would be like if I was finally at 100%. What would that feel like? I need you to start imagining that. I need you to start envisioning that. We're gonna give you the plan on how you can get out of the plateau, but let's talk about what keeps veterans in that plateau. There's 3 major things that keeps veterans stuck in that gap, in that foxhole, and not thinking about getting out. It's like when you're in a foxhole taking on suppressive fire. Number 1, fear of rocking the boat. They always think if I file again, I'll get lower, and that just shows that they have anxiety over the process because they don't know. Essentially, all anxiety is the act of fearing the unknown and future pacing the negative outcome, right? So they think, oh, I'm not gonna get what I'm looking for. And that's because they haven't armed themselves and they haven't watched videos like this. Number 2, bad advice. They listen to bad, terrible VSO, terrible lawyers that just wanna exploit them and get paid. Even listening to their battle buddies who haven't gotten 100% on how to go and get 100%. Listen, let me tell you guys what one of my mentors told me. Never take advice from someone who is not in the place that you wanna go on how to get there. If I wanna go to Walmart and I find a random person on the streets that's never been to Walmart and I say, hey, how can I get to Walmart? They're gonna tell me, yeah, go left, go right, go this and that. I'm gonna be lost as hell because they've never been there. This is the same concept that you guys are applying when you're asking your battle buddies on how to get 100% PNT when they don't have 100% PNT or haven't been through the process or don't know anything about it. This is big in the military as well because there's so many misinformation. One of the biggest misinformation that I was getting when I was in is if you get 100% PNT, you can't work. And that's a blatant lie. What they were explaining was the TDIU, which is 100% based off your unemployability. But they didn't know that. So that rumor just spread everywhere and you have a lot of veterans out there that think because they got 100%, that's gonna limit their ability to work, which is not the case. That is absolutely not the case. But this is why it's so important. If you want to achieve something, go to the individuals that have lived it, walked it, currently in the end goal state that you're looking for, and get advice from those individuals. Number 3, exhaustion. They're tired, they're fatigued, they're overwhelmed, and overstressed, and burnt out. The fight to reach 70% and 80% took years for them. So now that they're up there, they're just like, this is it. I'm comfortable with this. I can go and do other things. But that's not the case, guys. All you need to do is understand the game and play the rules accordingly. You can get there. 70 to 90% is not safety. It's a holding cell. The VA saves billions every single year because veterans quit right there and when they're so close to that 100%. 2 veterans, 2 destinies. Let me give you 2 examples. Veteran A, good old Defender Joe, he stopped at 70%. He said that's good enough. 10 years later, he collected $216,000. Sounds good, not bad, especially because he had to do nothing for it. Well, he had to work and serve and sacrifice. But, you know, currently he didn't have to do anything for it. That's just money he was given, right? Sounds good until you realize he's left $228,000 on the table that he could have helped with his family, his friends, or whatever he wanted to do. And his kids have to pay out of pockets when they do decide to go on to college or take on debt. He never left the country, never lived his true heart's desire and his dream. Now, let's talk about veteran B. His name is Major Payne. If you know, you know. Major Payne did not accept that 70%. He pushed to 100% permanent and total. Same 10 years, he collected $456,000. His mortgage was tax-free, which was very low, and he was actually able to purchase a house using the VA with tax exemption. His kids wants to go to college, so he uses his benefits that he's earned to help them get paid while going to school and not having to pay their tuition. Major Payne uses the Chimp VA for his spouse. He built freedom, and he was actually able to take that financial foundation that the VA has allowed him and go on to build multiple businesses, creating a life of luxury and wealth for him and his family. Both served, both fought, one settled, and one won. Now, which of those veterans do you want to be? The answer has to come from you. Here's how you break out of the plateau. 5 steps. Number 1, you need to audit your battle pack. Where is your weakest link? Are you missing personal statements? Are you missing buddy statements? Are you missing Nexus letters? Vague diaries, inconsistent DBQs. If it's there, find it, fix it. You already know how. Number 2, target secondary claims. Primary got you here. Secondary is gonna get you to that 100%. Stop trying to prove all those old primary claims that you already filed and don't have concrete evidence on. Look for new current secondary claims that are results of your primary that can be service connected to push you to that edge because you stacked them. Number 3, appeal or refile with new evidence and don't just complain. The VA allows you to file unlimited amount of time. What that means is if you file 1 to 100 times and you don't get it, all that means is you're one step closer to getting that final yes. Do not get stuck on the no. Number 4, document functional impact. Show how your condition is destroying your ability to work, drive, sleep, focus, maintain relationship, and be whoever you are, father, daughter, mother, sister, whatever you are, show it. Show it to the VA, explain it, tell your story, and that's gonna help you. Number 5, cut out the contradiction. Make sure all your documents align. This means your symptoms diary needs to align with your DBQs. Your DBQs needs to align with your service record. Your service record needs to align with your Nexus letters. Your Nexus letter needs to convey and connect everything to your service. You do this and the plateau isn't permanent, it's just a hill and you are going to conquer the hill. Secondaries are your breakout weapon. Use them effectively. Where does the fear of reduction comes from? This is the VA favorite weapon. Now let's kill the biggest lie that you're using to keep you stuck in the Dead-Man Plateau. Here's the truth about the VA lowering your claims. Ratings that are under 5 years old can be reviewed and can be lowered, especially if you don't submit a concrete, strong claim, right? Now, ratings over 5 years old or older are harder to reduce, and ratings that are 10 years old plus are actually protected. And if your rating is 20 years plus, meaning you've been stuck at 70% for 20 years, that's crazy. You're cooked. But listen, that's actually a good thing because it's locked in permanently. And the only way the VA can change it is if you just go in there, blatantly lie, and they have evidence of that and they investigate it and find it. Then they can go back and try to change it. But even then, it's hard because it's locked. And any reductions only happen if evidence shows improvement. If your record proves your condition is ongoing, the VA cannot just slash your rating. And if you go in there and tell them you have improved and you're better, then you shouldn't be getting disability for it. That's the straight up truth. You know, I've seen more veterans lose money by quitting than being reduced. Fear is the VA favorite weapon. Don't let that be used against you. So that's how you can actually break out of the Dead-Man's Plateau. I broke out of it, so can you. Phase 4 is claiming the inheritance, unlocking everything that comes with P and T 100%. But for now, remember this, the plateau is not your home, it's just a hill. And every hill can be conquered one step at a time. Phase 3, I showed you the Dead-Man's Plateau and give you a breakout strategy. Now you've climbed the hill, you've actually completed the mission, you got that 100% PNT. Congratulations, you've done what 90% of veterans won't do. But here's the truth most veterans don't realize. 100% is not the finish line. It's the doorway, guys. It's the beginning. It opens up so many different things. It's the moment you stop surviving and start inheriting what you deserve. Because when you hit 100% PNT, you don't just get a check, you unlock the arsenals of benefits: states, federal, medical, education, financial, and lifestyle. And if you don't claim them, you're leaving more value on the table. My goal with this channel is to empower every single veterans like yourself that is watching this to know every freaking thing possible so you can clear the table. Because I truly believe in you, I believe you serve, and I believe you deserve everything good that should come to you, right? When I broke through the 70 to 100% PNT, it wasn't just about money. Though the money mattered, that monthly check doubled my income. But what really changed was the weight that lifted off my shoulders. No more stress, no more being overwhelmed, and actually having a foundation that has allowed me to go on to build different businesses online, giving me the time that I needed. See, a lot of times what holds veterans back is that financial foundation. A lot of veterans just don't have the time. They have to take care of their responsibilities, their families, so they go straight into the workforce, giving up on their dreams, giving up on all the things that they're truly meant to do, their life purpose, just so they can provide for their family. This is why this mission is so important to me, because I feel like the faster path to financial freedom is getting a hold of that benefit, using it as the ground, and then building and stacking off of it based off your life purpose, the skills that you've developed, and so on and so forth. So for the first time in years, I wasn't fighting an uphill battle. I could breathe and I could plan. I could think about what my future should look like and what my family deserve, and not just surviving. And I started looking more and more into different benefits and seeing what it unlocks. And I never even knew all these benefits existed, like the state property tax exempt, the CHEM VA healthcare coverage for dependents, tuition waivers, travel discounts, relocation opportunities. All these benefits were unlocked when I hit that 100% PNT. I realized hitting 100% was just the beginning. It was the inheritance I have earned through my service, my sacrifice, and persistent work throughout the VA and mastering the VA. And listen, when I tell you guys, I claimed everything. Now, Ruben, why do you think every veteran deserves 100% PNT? Well, look at the population of America. As of 2025, there are 335 million people in America. And the current active duty force in the United States military is 1.8 million people. Do you understand what that means? Out of 335 million, only 1.8 million are serving. That's less than 1% of the population. And the actual veteran population is around 25 million veterans. This means no matter if every single veteran went and gained all the benefits, the impact wouldn't even be felt on the economy, on the government, because the demographic of people is so small. Also, what it means is the fact that out of all those people, only less than 1% of the population is serving their country, putting their life on the line, making sacrifices. I know all the sacrifices I made in my family, in relationships. There are birthdays that I missed. There are deaths that I couldn't show up to. My auntie, one of my favorite auntie, passed away while I was serving, and I was overseas and I couldn't make it. Do you understand what that means? There are sacrifices that we make every single day while we're serving, and the least that can be compensated for those sacrifices that have made. So this is why I feel it's so important that every single veteran that made that sacrifice, sign on the line, gets 100% PNT, and that's my life mission, and I'm going to achieve it through everything I'm doing. Here's what makes you having 100% PNT so powerful. Number one, financial stability. Your compensation covers your life basic needs. Normal living paycheck to paycheck if you use it properly. Number two, family security. The CHIMP VA educational benefits, DIC for survivors. Your family is covered with so many programs that unlock when you get that 100% PNT. Number three, freedom and options. You can live anywhere in the world and know that you're gonna get paid even abroad while your compensation is gonna follow you. I'm currently living in Bali, Indonesia right now, so I'm proof that this works. Number four, your legacy. With state benefits, education for your kids, healthcare for dependents, this is generational impact. Sending your kids to college for free as they are getting paid. Generational wealth is generated from these benefits, and only you had to make the sacrifice. Your kids don't have to go and make the same sacrifice. This is how important this is, guys. 100% PNT is the VA way of saying we acknowledge your sacrifice, and here is your reward, and thank you for your country. At 100% PNT, your monthly compensation jumps up significantly. For example, I used the scenario earlier with Defender Joe and Major Pain. If you're Major Pain at 100%, you receive $3,700 a month tax-free. And if you have dependents, that goes up in accordance to how many dependents you have as well. That's $44,000 a year, guaranteed, tax-free, and is indexed for inflation through COLA. This is the foundation of your inheritance, but it's just the start. Next, we'll talk about the CHIMP VA. The CHIMP VA is a civilian healthcare and medical program of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Most veterans don't realize if you're at 100%, your spouse and your children are eligible for full healthcare coverage under the CHIMP VA. Doctor visits, hospital stays, prescriptions, everything covered. I've seen families save thousands of dollars every single year utilizing these benefits, all because whomever served went ahead and got the mission completed and got that benefit at 100% PNT. All you have to do is apply. And if you are at 100% PNT watching this, apply immediately. You can start getting these benefits literally after you get your award letter. Don't wait, your family deserves it. Next is Chapter 35 education benefit. Another major inheritance that you get is your Chapter 35 Dependent Education Assistance. This program pays for your spouse and children to attend school. Tuition, fees, even the housing in some cases are covered. It can even cover college, technical schools, apprenticeship, and more. Think about it. Your kids can get an education without debt and get paid while going to school. That's generational wealth, and that's your legacy. Too many veterans leave this unused. Do not let that be you. File for the Chapter 35 as soon as you can and as soon as you're rated at 100% PNT. Next benefits that unlocks when you get that 100% PNT is commissary and exchange assets. That's right, you keep access to commissary and exchanges and moral welfare recreational facilities. All access to the base, you still get that. This means cheaper groceries, retail discounts, and access to military-based benefits. It may not sound crazy to you, but over years and years, that saves thousands of dollars that goes in your pocket to you and your family. And best of all, it still keeps you connected to the military community. And listen, those are just the federal level benefits, but there are so many states benefits that your individual states have for you. So I highly recommend you go and you do some investigation and you look into all the states perks that your individual states has for veterans at 100% PNT. And some of these states could be property tax exemption, vehicle registration discount, not paying taxes when you purchase high value things. For example, when I purchased my car, I didn't pay taxes. I paid the actual true price of it, which was crazy for me, guys. So make sure you look into all these benefits and actually employ them to help you when you finally got that 100% PNT. So these benefits might sound small, but understand that they stack over decades and they're money that you then get to keep and use for your family. Not to mention freedoms overseas. That's right, the VA has benefits for individuals that are overseas. Veterans like myself, through the VA Foreign Medical Program. I've already made a video going in depth about this program, so you can go and use it if you are interested. But if you live overseas, essentially the VA is going to cover your medical expenses as well. All of these benefits unlock when you are at 100%. So do yourself the favor, do your family the favor, and keep that fight going until you achieve the goal and you reach the mission. So once again, guys, 100% isn't just financial, it's psychological. At 70%, you think like a survivor. At 100%, you start thinking like a winner. You realize I have stability, I have option, I can lead my family, I can build a legacy. That shift is everything, because money without mindset will be wasted. But money in the hands of the right-minded individual builds empire. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave you all with a quote from one of my favorite speakers and author, Dr. Miles Monroe. And he said, "The value of a life is not in its duration, but in its donation." Meaning, this inheritance isn't just about you, it's about what you can do with it for your family, your community, and your legacy. The value of your life is the impact that you have in the life of others around you. And with you going and getting this 100% PNT, it increases the amount of impact you can have. This concludes the masterclass. If you apply all the frameworks, all the steps that I discussed in this masterclass, you are going to win your VA claim. Whether you're just starting or you're stuck in the Dead-Man Plateau, this information is crucial to helping you fight the fight that you deserve. With that being said, guys, my name is Ruben A. Gaima. I am the CEO of VA Claims Made Easy, and everything I've discussed in this video is done for you in our app. So if you're one of those individuals that just want to lay back and file your claims and not stress about it, click the link in my description, join the waitlist. When we launch, you will be notified and you'll get closer, faster, less stress to filing your claims without having to deal with all the complexity that it is now. If this video brought value to you, share it with a veteran that's going through the same journey as you right now. Let's build this community and help each other, because no one's gonna help us. The information is there. We have to go and get it for ourselves and share with each other in our community. With that being said, guys, check out these other videos. They're gonna bring a lot more value into your life. Peace.